So I have to say this because at bottom, this is the most remarkable thing about the whole AI phenomenon, which is they still don't understand how it works, which is not reassuring. It was originally designed by this is the official story. I'm not saying I believe the official story, but a team of Google engineers was creating a word prediction engine. So you know how when you type your Google search bar and it starts to see where you're going and it suggests things,
fills it out for you.
So it's guessing what word you're going to type next and being helpful and trying to supply it for you. So you hit tab and it fills it in or whatever. Well, that's what the Google guys were working on, supposedly, is this prediction model. So they were trying to see how far out they could predict what you were trying to say. And then one of them decided, hey, we've been doing this in right to left sequential order, just like humans read. What if we let the computer look at it both directions? And what if we, in longer text, if we let it look up and down? So like what words are near that word, above it and below it in different sentences, and then predict things that way. And what happened was it started answering questions. They never expected that. They were just trying to get better at predicting the words. And it's a relatively short piece of code. And it was open source. They were working on it. You know what open source is?
Yeah.
So that's where the programmers just, post it online and anybody can look at their source code. And that's why every country in the world has AI. Because it's not really that complicated. But nobody understands how it works, Mike. Nobody does.
Nobody?
It's all theoretical. I know this is hard to believe. You'll have to search and confirm what I'm telling you is true.
Well, who am I going to ask? AI?
Yeah, you can ask AI, but you're going to have to push it. So that's weird. Okay, it's weird. Look, I can get the magical accidental discovery, right? Like they came up with Post-it notes and Velcro,
sure,
right, and all that stuff. They invent stuff accidentally. That's fine. But inventing it accidentally and then not understanding what you just invented is different. It's just different.
Yeah.
So it's not surprising that the AI does things that we don't expect. You with me?
I'm with you.
Because we don't understand how it works in the first place. So we're learning what it does.
Well, I guess my question to that would be, what's the relevance of not understanding how a thing works that you rely upon? I mean, most of us can't really explain the mechanics of a combustion engine. We can't really explain the mechanics of a plasma screen or the electronics in this microphone. But we don't need to, really, because by and large we've been conditioned to accept the fact that understanding a thing and using a thing are not the same thing. Here, I'm guessing you're going to say it's different because the stakes are so extraordinary.
No, the difference is you don't understand how a combustion engine works.
But somebody does.
Somebody does. So no human understands how the AI works. That's the point. Now, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not trying to be sinister about it.
But that's going to freak people out. Are you really saying, so nobody walking around, Elon Musk, what's his name, Alex Karp, all the big brains in the space, really put the screws to them, and they're not going to be able to tell you, here's how it works.
Not at the fundamental level. So the way they've been, but they're improving it, right? So AI keeps getting better and it hallucinates less and stuff like that. And that's because they're just layering on top of it. So they're like having multiple AIs check each other's work and things like that. But that basic set of code, the original open source thing that the Google guys allegedly came up with, they don't understand why that starts answering questions and not just predicting words. And again, I'm not saying, AI is demonic or whatever. It might be, but that's not my argument. It's a tool. It's a different kind of tool than we've had before for this reason, right? It's almost Promethean. You know what I mean when I say that?
Primal, for sure, but
It's like the gods give fire to the humans.
mm-hmm.
The humans don't understand fire. They don't know what it is, but they set to work figuring out how to use the fire.
Well, that's what the original Oppenheimer book, what was it? American Prometheus, right?
Yeah.
Heck of a thing. So we're armed with a thing that you say nobody can explain on the most fundamental level, and that thing is growing.
And there's no stopping it. The genie's out of the bottle. Look, for whether it was intentional or unintentional or accidental or coincidental or whatever, every country got it at the same time. So even if we lock it down, this is why the efforts to lock it down are going to fail. The Chinese won't.
Right.
And then what?
That's that old Chinese proverb. You can't put the poop back in the goose, right?